Hello, and thanks for watching Off the Hook Crochet channel. In this tutorial I'm going to demonstrate how to do a color change or yarn changeover, and there's a few different ways that you can do this, and I'll explain each of them and go into more detail about when you would do them, and so that way you can make a decision on what's best for you. I'm going to start with a color change at the end of a row. So I've made a few rows of single crochet stitches here. When you've finished your final stitch of the row, leave a little loop, take out your hook, leave a little loop there for the last stitch that you made, and then insert your hook into the front loop and the little left loop that's on the face of the stitch. You can see from the front the little V, the segment on the left. That's what you're going to grab with your hook. Front loop, and then that left loop. Take your new yarn, make a little fold with the hook, and leave yourself a little 3-4 inch tail. Pull the new yarn through those two loops, make a chain. In this case I'm going to chain one because I'm doing single crochet stitches. After you've made that chain, pull out the loop you left over from the first yarn, and then turn like normal and start crocheting like normal. You can take this opportunity to work your yarn into your stitches. You don't have to do that. You can use a embroidery needle or a darning needle later to weave them in, but I'm just showing you how to do that if that's what you wanted to do. So when I insert my hook stitch after stitch, I just make sure that the yarn tail of the new yarn is laying on top so I can hold it down. This does add to the height of your stitches a little bit, so if you're picky about that, then this probably isn't recommended for you. But if you don't mind that the stitch height changes slightly, this is a quick way to hide those yarn tails as you go along. Now, another way that you can change yarn is in the middle of a row, and you can do that after you complete the stitch, just like I did before. You can use the same method. Insert the hook in the front loop only, and then that left leg. Then you can, I'm just going to reuse the blue yarn here instead of cutting it. You can pull up a loop with the new yarn, just like that. And then same thing, you can weave the yarn tail in later, or you can crochet with it right underneath your stitches and work it in. The choice is yours. Weaving the tails in later does add a little bit of time to your project, but for some projects it ends up looking a little bit better if you know, after you pull this through, cut this tail off and then weave it in later. Another way that you can do a color change is in the middle of a stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop like normal for a single crochet. And before you finish that stitch, grab your new yarn with your hook and pull it through to finish the stitch. And then you would crochet like normal. And again, you can weave in the tail to hide it, or you can trim it and weave it in later. That's another way that you can do a color change. How you do it is totally up to you. They both produce the same look, the same result. Really, the main consideration here is for what you do with those yarn tails. Because if you are crocheting all of the same color and uniformity is really what you're going for, then I wouldn't recommend crocheting the yarn tails into your work, because it does change the height. And when you run out of the yarn tail and you're back to just crocheting over your normal stitches, you will notice a slight difference in height of the stitches. It does add a little bit of bulk. But if you don't care about that, then go ahead and work in those yarn tails and save yourself a little bit of time later on. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.